Hello, I'm Norbert Gleicher. I'm the Medical Director and Chief Scientist here at the Center for Human Reproduction. What's the hottest topic today in medicine? And for that reason, in everything. It's, of course, artificial intelligence, AI. And medical journals are full with it. It doesn't matter which specialty, and that obviously also includes infertility. We love AI. Why do we love AI? Because AI has been remarkably good to us here at the Center for Human Reproduction, because what we, to our surprise and great pleasure, discovered over the last few months, and increasingly so as more and more bigger AI programs come online, is that the Center for Human Reproduction is number one in a whole lot of criteria. Number one, not only in America, but number one practically worldwide. It's really amazing to see relatively small fertility center being so far ahead of all the biggies. So we love AI. But AI has, of course, certain limitations, and one needs to understand what to use it for. Certain things in medicine have already been established that AI can be incredibly helpful. For example, in the specialty of radiology, and therefore probably going forward also in our specialty in regards to ultrasound, AI can simply learn to see better than we can see with our own eyes. In other words, AI can pick up things that we are not even aware of when we are looking at a few hundred, a few thousand, a few hundreds of thousands of X-rays, for example, of chest X-ray. AI does that better, there's no doubt. And therefore, many of our radiology colleagues will probably have to change what they do, because AI will take over from them, at least the routine part of the read. But then there are many things where AI is just not yet ready. And therefore, it is very important to understand for what we can and cannot use AI. I will give you an example of where we are thinking about using AI. We have been working here at the Center for Human Reproduction for now almost a year on a brand new recognition that we think will revolutionize how IVF cycles are being monitored. What do I mean by that? Those who have been through IVF cycles know that we measure follicles during the IVF cycle, or even during an insemination cycle. And they also know that based on the follicle size and some hormone testing that we do from blood in parallel, we determine when we ovulation induce the follicles. In IVF, that means the exact time when we do an egg retrieval. In an IUI and an insemination cycle, it means the time when we do an intrauterine insemination. And in over 40 years of IVF, the dogma has been, the uncontested dogma has been, that in general, the biggest follicle will tell us when it is time to ovulation induce, because it contains the most mature egg. And if we wait too long, that egg will ovulate and we lose the cycle. Every IVF clinic in the world is managing IVF cycles and IUI cycles in this way, measuring follicle sizes, us included. About a year ago, we had the idea that maybe there is something to the ultrasound picture of a follicle beyond just its size that will tell us when a follicle and its egg are mature. And so we started paying attention to the wall of the follicle. And lo and behold, we found 3 characteristics, we call them phenotypes, which really correlate very well, often better than size and hormones, to the maturity grade of the follicle and the egg. And those are little differences in how the walls of the follicle look. Now, we figured it out the old-fashioned way. We saw it, we made the combination, we then studied it, and we are now very certain. We actually just submitted a patent regarding these patterns that we discovered. But since we're talking about AI, I can tell you with great likelihood that our ability to see those 3 typical phenotypical characteristics of follicles that we discovered and which are predictive, that an AI system will be much better in quantitating them and therefore interpreting them than we can be with our own eyes, even though we discovered them in the beginning. And therefore, the next step in our research, even though we are using this already with great success, even though we are certain that once we can pass this job on to AI, we will do even better. One more thing, you may have heard that a lot of technical companies and fertility clinics have tried to experiment with the concept of follicle monitoring from at home, where a patient on her own basically does an ultrasound and sends the picture to the office. Many problems still with this approach, and I think it will still take a while before we can think about doing something like that. But one of the big problems is that while the patient probably can do the ultrasound at home, where's she going to do the blood test that is currently needed in parallel? And our new system really can determine when a follicle is mature, even without blood testing. So we have exciting times ahead of us because we are very convinced that our new discovery will really radically change how IVF is practiced these days. So stick with us. As we have news, we will tell you. And for today, I'm saying thanks for listening.